to Jack. I'm going to do it alternate. So Jack, Sean, Jack.
Yeah.
Get it?
Before we start, everyone, hope you're playing at home, pausing and trying to answer.
You're laughing at how bad we are. Go, call yourself Doctor Who fans. Terrible.
The Daleks are the mutated survivors of which race?
Daleks.
It's Dals. No, I'm joking. I'm pretty sure it is Carlets. I remember in the very first story they're called Dals, aren't they?
Yeah, just Daleks.
Like it's retconned in the during Tom Baker, doesn't it? Carlets and
Daleks, yeah.
Although, actually, to be fair, the book's good. The Carlets of Skaro, in the first Dalek story, they were referred to as Dals. So it does take into account what I mentioned.
What you said, yeah.
Who is the supreme ruler of all Daleks? Sean.
The supreme ruler
of all Daleks. This is specific. Who is the supreme ruler of all Daleks?
Oh, see, this could be two things.
Oh, you got a 50-50, and you know that Jack's going to be stealing that point if you don't get it right.
I will go with, just because of semantics, I'm going to go with the Emperor Dalek.
And you are correct.
Yes. Because at first I thought Davros, but I was like, no, he's creator, but he's not the ruler. So.
Well, in Big Finish, he eventually becomes the Emperor Dalek. So, but this book was written before then. So,
yeah.
Name the evil genius who created the first Dalek, Jack.
Davros.
It's much nicer when we're all gone. In their quest for galactic supremacy, the Daleks attempt to start a war between Earth and which other planet? Oh, yeah.
I'd say I do love it when this happens. Like Harry reading the answers, because it's like he's not quite sure, but then it's like, oh yeah, okay,
yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I was talking about alliteration when you roll your R's, Sean. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
This race does a lot of.
I'm trying to remember the name of this race now, because I think this is one you watched at my flat the other day. I say the other day, like 6 months ago. If this is what I think it is. It's like a John Pertwee, Sarah Jane episode.
I can't even tell you the story name, because you will get it from the story name.
Oh, this is going to really annoy me.
Yeah, in their quest for galactic supremacy, the Daleks attempted to start a war between Earth and which other planet? I mean, really, I think it's a bit much saying the Daleks attempted, because they didn't really attempt.
No, they just turned up in the last 5 minutes, didn't they?
Exactly.
Because that's the. I know exactly which one, but I can't remember the name of the planet.
Well, it's not hard if you can remember the race.
Oh, shut your dick, you silly weirdo.
I remember the race, Jack.
Well, no, because all I can remember is you going like. Because all I can remember is we were watching it and you were like picking your fingers, going like, "Look at that! That's that art building up in central London that they filmed at." I'm like, it's like, yes, and now I know. And that's all I can visualize in my head.
Oh, what? The National Theatre?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it! I'm giving it away. I'm giving the episode away now.
Well, yeah, I know the episode, but I couldn't say what it's called off the top of my head. Oh God!
Blanked.
Oh, Sean. Jack, you got a chance to steal it now. Now he can't remember.
No, this is insanely frustrating.
If I go Frontier in Space, because that's the story.
Yeah.
The aliens are also known by a different derogative name that the humans give them.
I can see what they look like in my head, and it's like, so I remember they do that whole stupid thing. It's like honor to your people or whatever the fuck as they run away.
Oh yeah, my life is your
yeah.
my life is something along those lines, and he puts his hands up and he walks off. And they do a lot of like I do a lot of rolling the R's. Come on.
No, you're gonna have to tell me. I'm not.
So okay, if I go, the humans' derogative name for these aliens is dragons.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the planet is called.
Yes, I know it now, but it's too late now, isn't it?
No, I haven't. You've given me an answer, so I'm kind of like, come on, you've got the
Draconians.
There we go.
Because I could envision them in my head.
And the planet is known as Draconia.
Draconia.
I totally missed a question. Skaro is a radiation-soaked world of mutant flora and fauna and petrified forests. What caused this devastation, Jack?
Well, in broad strokes, war. Is that technically that's not incorrect, but whatever. I know that's not the answer you're looking for.
Well, I mean, it does. Yes and no, and it's asking for a more specific question than that.
So the planet got irradiated.
Answer.
The planet got irradiated during their war. I can't remember if it was because of like nuclear-style weapons or not.
Oh, it's so close. So close with nuclear-style weapons. I mean, if you're not an electron,
you're an atom. So they use atom bombs.
Or if you're not a positive,
you're a neutron. Neutron bombs. There you go.
There you go.
If me the answers, I can get there. They neutron bombed their planet. Wait on. What's my TV doing?
Yeah, that's what it literally is. A neutron bomb exploded in a bitter war between the Thals and the Khaleds. Which is made by dystronic explosives. Number 6, Sean. How did Theodore Maxtable and Edward Waterfield accidentally bring Daleks to the 19th century?
You did it yourselves.
Funny that was the one.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a very poor answer to that question, but hang on.
Day of the Daleks, wasn't it?
Nope. No. Theodore Maxtable and Edward Waterfield are in Evil of the Daleks.
Okay, yeah.
Have you watched it with me?
No. I have seen it, but yeah.
I mean, it's animated. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, their answer is really basic. So if you could imagine how would they accidentally bring something to the 19th century?
Like creating a very primitive form of time travel.
Yeah. I mean, if you mean by primitive, by experiments in time travel.
Yeah, by experimenting in primitive forms of time travel. I just remember the Daleks being really cool in it, but I can't remember exactly how it came out, how they came in.
I mean, the answer they've given is by experimenting time travel using static electricity.
Oh,
it's not really the full. I don't think that's the full actual explanation, because they infuse the mirrors inside the cabinet with static electricity, and then that
come from. Yeah.
They come out from that. And I'm not sure I'm happy with that description, but hey ho.
Hey ho.
It's just me complaining about the book.
You're not allowed to argue the book, Harry.
I was written like this.
Jack, the Daleks used which other alien race as guard dogs?
Oh, what episode? Harry's frozen.
What episode? They appear in 2 different stories.
So your camera froze for a second there. What was the episode?
Oh, sorry. They appear in 2 different stories. These particular guard dogs.
Which 2? Or just one of them?
Well, they're both three. They're both John Pertwee stories. One we've already been talking about. With the Draconians. The other one would be Day of the Daleks. It has the same race in it.
Oh, it's the spiraloids or something, wasn't it? Spiroids.
The Spiroids. Is that your final answer?
No, but you said shit. It sounded like what 20 minutes ago. You said it.
Not even that.
You mean the Spyrodons?
Spyrodons. There you go. I'll have Spyrodons.
Yeah, they're also from. They're only in one episode, and they're in Planet of the Daleks. So not this particular race that I'm talking about.
Oh, then the Zubians or whatever the other one was that you mentioned in that particular thing. I don't know. I don't pay attention.
What are you on about?
Oh.
Sean, what do the Daleks use as guard dogs?
Ogrons.
There you go.
It's pronounced Ogrins, and they're in 40k. Doctor Who stole it.
Ogrins.
Ogrins. Yeah, they're what you described, Jack, in one of the videos. That space Urukai.
Oh,
here we go. Who was the guardian of the solar system who betrayed the Daleks in the 41st century?
So I've got 40k in my head now. So
I just thought it was well timed.
That's my question. 41st century.
I mean, it's Dalek Master Plan, the guardian of the solar system, played by Kevin Stoney.
Oh, Mavic Chen.
There you go.
Thank you. Or was it Chan? Is it Mavic Chen or Chan?
It's Mavic Chen.
Mavic Chen. Like, yeah.
I think the solar system. I mean,
I think you said the answer correct, so I think that's the main thing.
On the planet Mechanus, the Daleks fought a duel to the death with which robots?
Mavellans?
No. Earlier than that. Another robotic race.
How many robotic races have they fought?
Many.
2. This is the other one that begins with an M. I mean, let me just read the question carefully. On the planet Mechanus, the Daleks fought a duel to the death with which robots?
Mechanoids.
There you go. Input, enter.
You say Mechanoid, I just think Crichton from Red Dwarf. Actually, well, Crichton from Red Dwarf.
I love it. Sean, this is such a good question. The planet Exelon is an abundant in perinium, one of the rarest minerals in the galaxy. Why did A, the Earth expedition led by Commander Stewart, and B, the Daleks, come to Exelon to mine the mineral?
Oh, bollocks.
Come on. Think. Use the grey matter. Why were they looking for perinium in Death to the Daleks?
Something to do with Dalekanium, but I can't remember.
Perinium is something that the Daleks were looking for. It helps with medical stuff. Chatting bollocks, aren't I?
No, Jax, you are on the line. You are definitely on the right lines.
It's It's used for medical equipment, but the Daleks using it in a slightly different way because.
No, you're close, but not. You're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's kind of. Sean, take it from there. See if you can get it from that. It's for medical stuff.
I mean, do you remember Death to the Daleks as a story?
Very vaguely.
If I said a space plague,
They wanted,
Perineum.
Is
they
this
wanted to use it as a virus to destroy all humanity or destroy all organic life.
Is this Colin Baker?
No, it's John Pertwee.
John Pertwee. But perineum is used for the Earth colonies to fight the plague and give immunity, and the Daleks want to basically hoard it and basically blackmail the galaxy into giving them loads of money.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a strange storyline, but I really like that.
Money.
Why that's a dark story, that one.
I was going to say, why would the Daleks want money in general? It's kind of like, it's not something they would have
Maybe
value.
I remember is like when they're going around the different bits of the building, and it's all like booby traps.
The different intelligence tests, and also my favourite: I does not exist.
You don't exist.
How did the first Doctor and his companions learn of the Daleks' plan to pursue them through time and space? Jack.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. How did the Doctor and his companions discover the Daleks were basically chasing after them in a time machine? So how did they become first aware of what was going on?
See, my brain instinct is telling me to say that they saw the ripples in the space, or they could see like the motion of the ship in space, but they couldn't see the ship. It's kind of like they could see something was happening, but they couldn't see the ship. And then exactly.
Amazing. Are you getting a bit mixed up with Star Trek and the cloaking devices and the ripple that you see in the cloaking device?
No, that's a shimmer. That's different.
Shimmer, 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 shimmer. Sorry.
That's usually tachyons, but they don't usually do that in Doctor Who. But I'm sure they probably have at some point. They've used every science term. No, I'm going to stick with my answer. It's kind of, they could see like something in the wake as they were moving through time, but they couldn't see the ship itself, and that's why how they became aware that something was following.
Shame that's a little bit later in the same story. It's a little bit later. It's not the first. Sean, do you remember what in the chase? How they first realised the Daleks?
Was it something aboard? Was it something to do with the Mary Celeste, and they realised that they were being chased because of that?
That's later in the story.
Yeah.
Thinking about what happens right at the beginning of the chase. We've got the time-space visualizer, the big television.
Oh, yeah.
They put the things in it, and then randomly, I don't know why, it suddenly picks up the Daleks talking about their plan to chase after the Doctor and...
Oh, yeah.
And that's how they come up. Yeah, it's just the time-space visualizer. Let's know, even though it shouldn't work that way, but...
yeah.
Science fiction. These things happen.
Yeah, you just explain it with science, blah blah.
Yeah, science, blah blah blah.
Actually, if they got that, why don't they use that in every episode? Because look, this is exactly what we need to know, so we can.
I know it's still in the TARDIS somewhere. You know,
just nicely put away to one side.
I love it. Here we go. Why were the Daleks planning to explode a second neutron bomb when the first Doctor visited Skaro? Pretty simple, that one. Who wants to answer first?
The first one didn't kill everything.
I'm going to go with it. They wanted to irradiate life in the same way, so it could make more. They could make more Daleks in the same manner as they've been made.
That's half of it. Yes, that's half of the answer. Thinking about what their primary goal would be, though.
Just destroy all other life.
Yeah.
So they kill all other life, and then they
destroy the Thal survivors on Skaro and make life on Skaro more suitable for Daleks, who have become accustomed to the radioactivity on the planet's atmosphere. I'll give that one to Jack. Well done. That was a good answer.
Boom.
5-4 in this round. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, I mean, it's a missing story, so why am I going to ask that question? It is a good question, though.
Ask it, Jack.
I was just, why were the Daleks present in great numbers on the planet Kembor in the year 4000? But it's part of the Dalek master plan. It's not an easy answer. There's not an easy answer to that question.
Yeah, it is. It's because it's part of their master plan to be there.
Hey, I saw what you did there.
Well, yeah, I suppose in preparation for their invasion of the galaxy. Yeah, there you go. You can have that one, Jack. You didn't even. I didn't realise how easy that question was actually going to be.
Being a sarky bastard pays off for once in my life.
Indeed.
Who was the scientist on the Earth colony of Vulcan who found 3 Daleks in a mercury swamp and brought them back to life? Sean.
Oh, Lesterson.
There you go.
Power of the Daleks.
It is Power of the Daleks. How did the Second Doctor provoke a vicious civil war between the Daleks on Skaro? Jack. Did we watch this together?
What evil
I
of the
don't
Daleks?
remember bringing Evil of the Daleks around, maybe.
I think we were going to, and then we ended up getting drunk.
Yeah, no, that's probably
It
highly likely.
tends to happen, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh God, I think what he basically did was sort of got them to start questioning their leadership structure in terms of who in theory should be in charge and how they work it out, because all the
these are all causes of what he did. Yeah, you are right.
He basically, I know, because Davros hadn't been invented yet, so it's kind of he basically got. Shit.
You're really close. You're really close.
He got the Daleks to question who should be in charge, because the Emperor Dalek or Supreme Dalek, whatever it was at the time, he just basically got them to question it in a way that Daleks wouldn't have done normally. And that's what caused
I'll give you that. I mean, it's the human. He introduces the human factor, which then makes them question. So it's something that the Daleks try and get him to work out what the human factor is. And then the double cross is the Daleks work out what the Dalek factor is because of the human. It's a bit convoluted, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Why did the Daleks first invade Earth in the latter half of the 22nd century? Sean.
Oh, that was Dalek invasion of Earth, wasn't it?
Yeah. Why did the Daleks invade Earth?
They wanted to move. They wanted to use it as a fucking. Oh, it was like something to do with the core, but I can't remember exactly what.
I mean, it is as ridiculous as you remember it. They wanted to remove the Earth's core, yeah,
and use it as a ship or
something.
Yeah,
they basically wanted to turn the Earth into a planet, drive it about.
Size ship.
I always thought it was a bit of a ridiculous storyline. When you think about it, when you actually just read it and go, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did the Daleks exterminate their creator in his bunker on Skaro?
Because he wasn't a Dalek. Ultimately, he was trying to exert control over them, but he wasn't a Dalek. So it was very much a case of, well, you're not a Dalek, so you're not perfection like we are. Done.
Yeah, no, I accept that answer. I mean, that's all they thought he was inferior to them. But yeah, that's correct.
Have pity.
I do not have no meaning of the word. It's not in my vocabulary bank. Before their first invasion of Earth in the mid-22nd century, how did the Daleks weaken the Earthmen's resistance? Oh yeah, I forgot that bit of storyline. Yeah. So Sean, how were the Earth? How was the Earth? How were the humans weakened in the lead up to the Dalek invasion of Earth?
The Robo Men had something to do with it, but I can't remember.
It's a real throwaway line. I do distinctly, and I know now I've read the answer. That makes life easy, but it's like a
Demoralization.
it's mentioned, but it's like one sentence and then it's passed off.
They didn't have Bernard Cribbins on their side like it was.
It's related to why would you have a sign about dumping bodies in a river?
Oh, dumping in the river.
A bridge. It's related to that. So why would you be dumping bodies in the river?
Plague.
There you go, Jack. Well done. And how did they introduce the plague?
By dumping bodies in the river.
No. How did the Daleks introduce the plague to Earth? Think Starship Troopers. Now he's getting confused. Starship Troopers and Doctor Who. How does these relate to each other?
Insects, bugs.
I'm very familiar with Starship Troopers. I'm just trying to remember, like, when they do anything that you could relate to a virus being released, because like they nuke planets, and they drop bombs and shit. But
is it to do with the water supply?
No. They fling meteorites at the Earth.
Oh yeah.
Release a plague on the Earth. Meteorites.
Okay, I can see that connection to
Arachnids
Starship Troopers now.
Rocks at Earth.
Well, no, they shot rocks out of their bottoms into the atmosphere.
Out the arse.
Knocked into the asteroids in the planetary belt, which pushed them onto a course with Earth.
Here we go. So the final question of the round on the Daleks. Why was the Doctor so reluctant to destroy the Daleks when the Time Lord sent him to Skaro to do so?
He doesn't think genocide's a good idea, even because every time the Daleks have done something bad, it's caused other people to work together to cause good, and that good kind of outweighs the bad of the Daleks in the Doctor's mind.
Almost word for word, Jack. I mean,
do I have the right?
Oh,
that round ended 8-7 to Jack. Oh.
Hey.
Do you want me to stop there? And then we can...
I think we can stop there and we can save more and do more next time, because I think this is quite fun and I want to keep doing it.
I'm quite enjoying it. So, with just 3 rounds, the scores on the doors.
Scores on the doors, George Doors.
The dove from above. Donald Cox, the sweaty fox.
50s superstar, Mark Lamar.
50s throwback, Mark Lamar.
Yeah.
We have.
It's actually worked out that you've got that maths. That can't be right. No, it is. Is it? Yes. Yes, it is right. So Sean's in the lead with 18. Jack is just behind on 17.5.
Whoa.
After 3 rounds.
So that's
how many rounds are in this book.